I am Marwan Cameron, and this is The Conduit. All right, y'all. It is the end of another month. The year is officially half over. It is June 30, 11:09 p.m., 66 degrees in Kitsap County. How is everyone doing this evening? Man, I tell you, we're talking about more than a 40-degree difference from our hottest temperatures. And I got to say, it feels fantastic. It really does feel good. What a reprieve from what we were facing earlier. Man, I tell you. You know, it is. Yeah, I come on later than this. And I actually wasn't going to come on today based on how my day went. I'm tired. I'm tired today. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. I'm exhausted today, right? But I felt like that was the reason why I actually needed to come on this evening, even though I was tired, and it's like, oh man, I should just turn it in, take a little nap. Matter of fact, that's what I told people. I was gonna lay down and take a nap for a couple hours, get up at 1 o'clock in the morning and go to work. You know, maybe even go ahead and go to the gym, right? But I'm like, nah, you know what? I need to come on, talk about a few things that I think are important that people may need to hear that could be beneficial to them. So, you know, I'm here. Just want to make sure I'm good. Usually I get a shout out letting me know that my feed is doing well. But I think part of that reason is you know, you have some of those days where everything that can happen does happen. Well, tonight or today could be one of those such days. It's just a busy day all the way around. A lot of really good things going on. I'm just trying to get my make sure my signal's going well over here. That's why I keep turning my head if it's distracting there. And you know, with that, we've had a little bit of everything. So our cook ended up in the hospital tonight. All right, sounds pretty good to me. So she was washing dishes and a dish broke in the sink and she sliced both of her hands open, one to the bone. So she had to go to urgent care and get stitches. So she's home now. She's doing better. But yeah, like I said, it's kind of been a long one. And the thing is you need to be prepared, right? Procrastination can definitely be the enemy because the things that you need to get done at crucial moments that you could have done earlier that were put off can definitely be detrimental when something outside of your control ends up happening. And not to say that's the case, but it's just something that I try to remind my team that is really important for them to do. So, yeah, she cut up her hand pretty badly today. She ended up at urgent care, had to get stitches. Hand was looking pretty swollen. I will save the gory details, but she is home safe and hopefully enjoying a nice evening. I know that's not true because I know she's doing some prep work for tomorrow because that's just how she rolls. That's kind of how G2 is anyway. Today, I gotta say, really hit the ground running. I haven't had a chance to look at emails, texts, but man, wait till you see this video from the Rustic Pea Pod. Now that's down on 9218 Northeast Brownsville Highway 303 in Bremerton on your way to Silverdale. And so they have a lot of antique type items in there. Great story. So I can't wait to bring you that. I'll be working on those edits. As I said before, G2 will be going more and more on location and going out to our folks in the community and telling their stories and showing off their businesses and what they have going on. So I'm super excited about that. So that happened today, right? And then we got the newest member of G2 today, which is awesome. So shout out to Daniel. When someone is going to be part of the team when they're like, "Where's my shirt?" I'm like, "Yep, that's it." Just that's it. You're home. That's where you belong. I love it. So I'm super excited about that. Matter of fact, when you see this interview, I didn't do the interview. He did, and we hadn't met. And we'd only talked on the phone for maybe, I don't know, 2 minutes tops at best, probably. And so we met the first time there at the Rustic Pea Pod. And, I asked him if he wanted to do the interview. He was like, okay. And he did the interview. So, I love those kinds of spirits. Just jump right in. And he did a fantastic job. So, we would go inside, we'd take a tour, kind of like I did at the Africana exhibit, and just kind of talked about some of the pieces and the historical background of the pieces. And it's a great interview. I can't wait to do the edits to see it. I actually did I shot some beat while the interview was going on, so I didn't even hear the whole thing. So I'm excited to see this. But that was really awesome. Come to find out that he was already in the midst of being connected to us through, his wife, which is awesome, right? So, that was happening on that side, and he had called down to G2, and he heard that we didn't really need any help at that, moment in time, and so he sent a message to Christina. Shout out to Christina. And so I told Christina, give him my cell phone number, just have him call me direct. And then she made the connection. I was just telling Raymond about this. I said, one thing that is so awesome about her is she could have just said, okay, I'll go ahead and let him know, right? What she did was she sent an email and CC'd both of us on. So that soft handoff was there, right? So I could reach out to him or he could reach out to me. And that's a really effective way of trying to put folks together. So, thank you to her. And so that's awesome. And so just kind of realizing, the overlap, the folks that we know, right? Our lives are like a Venn diagram of knowing some folks and kind of, old histories of being in different places. So I'm super excited to work with him and see what we can do and to bring in new partnerships with organizations that we haven't had direct relationships with before. So I think that's really cool and awesome. To meet other people that have a lot of energy the way that we do is truly exciting. So that was a gift that happened, I would say, around 6 o'clock. So I did that. And then also, for me, the one thing that's important, I had a meeting today for about 2 hours with Raymond. So we will get together and have a deep, and then, it's always hard to do it on a timely manner. Sometimes it's not as often as he would like or I would like. So we're trying to be a little bit more intentional of at least once a week. But we ended up having a conversation today for a couple hours, which of course put me behind, but not really, because it's the work and it was necessary to have the conversation. And then later on, one of our other members needed some counsel. And so I was able to provide that. And in both of the scenarios, one of the things that is really important is to keep that frame of reference that, this is a marathon and not a sprint. Now, it doesn't mean that you're not going to be intentional and you're not going to work diligently. You're not going to procrastinate and put things off. But change doesn't often happen overnight, right? Especially if we have situations that have taken time to come into effect. not often are they easily rectified. So, obviously I need to lose some weight, and I didn't put this weight on, overnight. So it's not going to come off overnight. So I've got to realize that. And that's hard, right? We can often think of, um, what we did wrong, what we should have done, how things could have been different if we had the mindset that we have in the moment now as we're reflecting. We can be hard on ourselves and not give ourselves grace for the decisions that we've made, the actions that we've decided to take, and the roads that we traveled. But it is what it is. You hear people say, hey, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube, right? Can't cry over spilled milk. What you can do is you can clean up the milk, right? But you can analyze what made the milk spill in the first place. What did you do? And how can you avoid that next time? How are you going to respond to it next time? Did you get really upset? Did you curse? Did you jump up and down? Did you blame someone else? What happened when you spilled the milk? In your anxiety trying to maybe grab the milk as it was falling, did you make even a bigger mess? That's happened, right? You try to reach out for something to catch it, and instead you knock it further and you spill even more. Something worse happens. You break the dish or the plate. And so you can do that analysis and say, hey, what happened here? How did I end up making these decisions? What influenced my actions? And how could I have changed that to have had a different outcome? And then at the same time saying to yourself, okay, yeah, I made some mistakes in this scenario. If that is the case, I take accountability for the decisions and the actions that I made. And from this point forward, I'm going to work diligently to try to be thoughtful in my actions before I take them. Think about the consequences of said actions, and maybe even reach out to people that I trust and ask them about what they would do, right? Ask for advice or counsel, and then make the best informed decision that I can make and go forward, right? And then understand that, again, the decisions that I've made didn't get me here overnight. So I'm not going to be able to undo that. Now, of course, it's true, right? You can make one dumb mistake, one dumb night, and those actions can be with you for years, right? True story. So there is that. But it's not going to do you any good to lament over the actions and the path that you chose to take at that particular time. The mindset, the mind, your frame of mind at the time that you made those decisions. And we can spend so much time trapped there, right? So much time that we could be using to effectively navigate our system, to work through and process our decision tree, right? And work on better solutions, analyzing and working on other parts that we need to work on in our lives. And so that piece gets lost, right? And depending on what voice you listen to, if you listen to the negative voice, often, right, you sit in there in your sadness and your anxiety and maybe your depression. You're down on yourself, right? Your self-esteem is low, is shot. Or you listen to your right voice and you say, hey, okay, this is a situation. Look at what I did today. This is the progress that I've made. This is the mindset that I'm working on to stay in a positive framework to go forward, right? To not allow myself to slip into these patterns or these thoughts of sadness or anxiety or even depression if it is over an extended amount of time. And give yourself the grace and pat yourself on the back and give yourself those motivators. As I said before, I'm a firm believer in SMART goals. I think they're very helpful because it can give you those small pieces of victory that can help propel you to those mid-size and larger goals, right? Leave yourself those goalposts that are achievable, that make sense, right? SMART goal, the acronym there is specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and has a time frame with it. And as you hit those mile markers, right, you feel good. It's invigorating. You get motivated. You're inspired by your own completion, your decision tree, that every time you actually made the right decision, right, to eat, the fruit versus the donut, to have the vegetables over the, whatever it is, right? And this is applicable to anything in your life, which is so powerful and helpful, right? And so a lot of times we find ourselves in a space where we're so down on ourselves that nothing is good, right? The roses don't smell good. I don't feel thankful for anything. Everything is horrible. Everything I do is bad. I'm just a failure. And we can find ourselves lost in these, right? And it can take a lot to try to get us to even acknowledge the one good thing that we might be able to pull on in that space and time, because we're so down and negative on ourselves. And that's why it's so important to have your circle of support and your circle of influence, right? Those people that you trust that are around you, that are going to steer you in the right direction. They're going to be truthful with you. They're not going to shine you on. They're not going to blow smoke, but they're also not going to give you advice in a way that's hurtful, right? That's non-productive. They're not going to beat you down with the truth. They're going to be supportive in that truth. And in that, oftentimes they will get you to see that one good thing, to start to pull you up out of that and say, okay, well, remember, you do like this, or you did do this well. Okay. So now what else did you do well? How can we build on this? Okay. And you continue to have those conversations. A lot of times we want to isolate, right? We make these mistakes, or we're down on ourselves, or whatever the case may be. And we want to kind of sit with ourselves and punish ourselves, right? I don't deserve to be around other people. I'm going to make a bad decision because I'm already have made so many other bad decisions. What's the point? And that tends to make our situation worse. At best, it just delays us from starting to improve our position and getting through and over the mood, the non-productive mood and the feelings that we're feeling, right? We end up staying in the space. I was telling Reverend Ellington several podcasts ago how, I used to be a person, I would like to sit in my anger, right? I would get into an argument with my wife or girlfriends, and I could be mad for days. I could be mad for a week and a half. And there's times when, by the time it's all said and done, I don't even remember why I'm angry. I just want to be angry. I just want to feel that feeling, right? And it's just so non-productive. And understanding that and realizing that is like, why are you there? My dad, and I think that came from a young time, right? And there's trust and all kinds of other things. But for me, I'll give you this example, right? Let's see if this is going. Let me give you some memory lane here. So my dad was a very harsh punisher, right? So, we definitely lived in the times of spare the rod, spoil the child. But, aside from that, Dad's words could be way worse than any belt that he could ever put on our backside. And again, even from a young age, I would get really upset. If I got in trouble, if you chastised me, then I'm going to be angry, right? And I want to be angry. And so, he would chastise you and he would say, you know what, or correct your action or discipline you. And some time would pass, and it wouldn't be a lot of time, it might be like an hour or so, And he'd come and talk to you. And if you wouldn't talk because you're pouting and you're in your feelings, he might, try to crack a joke. I just get even more mad, like 7, getting more mad, just getting so angry about. Then he'd tickle you, right? I'm tremendously ticklish, so it really pisses me off now. Like, how dare you tickle me and make me laugh when I'm angry? I'm really upset with you now. And, usually he'd be able to, break me through. But, sometimes it would be a situation it's like, no, I'm still angry. It's all right. Well, you want to be angry. You just go on to be angry. Us and the rest of the family gonna go ahead and do what we got to do. You go and be angry and do your thing and get over it. And then you sit with that, right? And then now you're angry because you're angry. And it doesn't even make sense. It's not even logical, right? You just allowed your emotions just to take over. And so that was me from a young age. And so that is something that I've definitely carried into adulthood. But I've also been more cognizant of it, and started to work on and acknowledge it, right? That it's not going to do me any good to stay in that space. And now, as I have matured to a point where I'm helping other people, I can't stay in that space because that means I can't help people, right? If I'm in that space, then I'm not an effective uh, service provider, right? And that is the position that I hold, whether or not I have the G on or not. And I tell a lot of people, you're G2, you know, all the time, right? Because people begin to see you and that's all they see, right? Uh, and so they don't see, that you're human, that you're flawed, that you make mistakes. They're just looking to see if you are upholding, the principles that you hold, your values, the shield. And so that puts a lot more pressure on you, to hold yourself in a certain way at all times, right? And in all situations. And it's help, it's almost like having a workout buddy. You get that workout buddy there. So when you're feeling like, I don't want to work out today, man. How about we take off the day today and we'll do an extra 20 minutes tomorrow? How's that? Does that sound good? No, you're going to the gym. Let's go. You need that. And so having that accountability on that other side where people are depending on you is great for me because it helps for me to navigate through that quickly. And oftentimes I can compartmentalize, my personal issues with business stuff and go ahead and just conduct the business and keep the personal stuff to the side, right? Which again, probably isn't good because you need to deal with your personal stuff, right? You can do that with the business stuff, then use those transferable skills I was just talking about and transfer it to your personal stuff. Not a do as I say and not as I do type situation. But I get it. It's not easy. It's not easy. But it is easier, can be helpful for you to talk to people. It really is important for you to surround yourself with people that you trust. And I know that it can be hard to find and acknowledge those people, right? Many of us have been hurt over and over and over and over again. And so right when you think that you have found that person that you can trust, that person lets you down. They betray your trust. They speak something that was told to you in confidence. They said something behind your back or talked about you disparagingly. Maybe they didn't defend you to somebody, right? It could be any of these things. And you can definitely feel some kind of way about it. But it's important that we use our tools and we talk about it and we navigate through our feeling and understand that our feelings, I might say sometimes maybe they're irrational, but they're valid. I mean, they're your feelings. So, you've got to work through and process them so that you can get to the other side. And I hope that I was helpful today in the conversation that I had with the person that I was working with. And, it's good to stay busy. I find that helping other people is a great way to navigate, especially when you're feeling not 100%, not feeling yourself, right? Helps to keep you from doing some of the things that I like to do, that myself away and isolating myself, or, kind of staying in my own thoughts, right? Stewing in my own juices, if you will. And so it is powerful to have that person to talk through and navigate it. And even if it's a thing of whether you were right or wrong in the moment, just having someone to listen, not judge, but just listen. Maybe you want counsel and, it is a situation where you want them to, well, what do you think? How would you have done this? Was I wrong for this? And that those people are going to give you that sound advice. Well, yeah, no, I can see your point here, but I think you probably should have done this, or, just called you out. Yeah, no, you were wrong for that one. That's powerful. That's powerful and it's helpful. So I encourage you all to find those people in your life. And if you don't have those, try to make those connections and cultivate those connections. I can tell you my challenge, especially to Black men, was to try to meet 5 people per month. And again, I've met Brother Daniel. I'll talk to you about the owner of the Rustic Pea Pod, who I met today. I've met Brandon, who is working on our shirts over there at Kitsap Custom Tees, which is awesome. So shout out to them. They're going to do an order of about 25 shirts for us. And they're talking about 2-day turnaround. I'm like, what? So that's fantastic. So that's awesome. And to support young entrepreneurs is powerful, right? And so today, what have we done in regards to supporting Black business? You know, not only did we shoot a video to tell the story of the Rustic Pea Pod, you know, also purchased a gift that I can't wait to give for someone out of that store today. And then again, we have our t-shirt order. We're still promoting, which I need to share with you. Please go ahead and sign up. There is still room available for the Summer Prime Basketball Tournament. You can register at www.ksptournament.com. You can call and talk to AJ himself, 360-340-3581, or email him at subscribe@ksptournament.com. The tournament, again, is going to be Friday, July 30, Saturday, July 31, and Sunday, August 1. There will be prizes and vendors and all kinds of giveaways. Quiet as kept, I think we'll probably end up giving away some TVs and some more things. So come on out and support. Kitsap Public Health will be in attendance, providing vaccines on that day, and that will take place at the East Bremerton Gym. So soon you will see me talk about this pretty much on a daily basis to make sure that everyone knows about it and can attend. And I realized that I'm live on air. Come on, you scared me. Go ahead and say hey there, Brother Raymond. Go ahead, you can talk on the mic.
Good evening. Good evening. How's everybody doing?
So my door's open, so he jumps into the front door. You know, it's 11:30 at night. He tells me to protect myself at all times, then he comes in and he scares me. So I was like, that ain't right, brother. So you know what's awesome? You know, quick story. He's getting ready to go and head into work, and one of our G2 members cooked a fantastic meal tonight. Fried pork chops, which of course is my birthday meal. Yes, I am eating meat again, by the way. Fried chicken, mashed potatoes, homemade, green beans with bacon and onions, Hawaiian rolls, macaroni and cheese baked in the oven. Now, I mean the holiday mac and cheese with the farm cut Tillamook white cheddar. Oh man, I tell you, this cheddar cheese, I could just eat it plain. What else is in that? I don't want to forget everything that you cooked. Your mule is over here. It's already in the bentos. Bring them over here so we can take a look at them. There's so much food that I was like, hey, brother, I got and corn on the cob. Like, I got so much food. Come on over and get you a plate to go, because he works the midnight to 8 shift, 8 in the morning, right? So this is what it looks like, right? So you got one G2 member coming over to cook and take care of me, and then in proxy, take care of him. Hey, drive safe. Right. Be good. We lock my door for me. All right, you got it, brother. Safe. Have a good night. Always. Be safe. All right, G2. It is what we do. All right. So, you know, I love that. You want to get to me? Acts of service. Selflessness, helping others. That's you're gonna get me every time. You know, I'm a sucker for that. I'm a big sucker for that. So you taking care of other people and helping other folks. Yep. I don't have any defense for that, and I don't want any defense for that. So, and that's good. I asked him, you know, hey, you got dinner tonight for work? He's like, no, actually, I don't. I was getting ready to go to the store and get some cereal. Like, no, brother. Come on over. There's plenty of food over here for you. And he was like, well, what you got? He's always asking because, when I started doing the vegan thing, he's like, I'll do it with you. And I'm like, man, you don't have to do that. I appreciate it. And he was like, no, I'll try, so he did it. I think he made it a week. And he's like, brother, man, I'm so hungry, man, but I'm going to do it because it's you. I'm like, all right. All right. You can, Raymond, I appreciate you. I'm glad you did it, but go ahead. You're free. Go ahead and eat. Thank you, brother. Man, I'm so hungry. And you've seen Raymond. Raymond is, cock diesel. So he's like, yeah, I don't have anything to eat. I'm just going to grab some cereal and some milk. It's like, no, come on over here, man. There's a full meal over here. There's plenty of food for you to eat. And so he is on his way to go and serve, which is awesome. So the mission continues to happen all the time. But as I was saying, the Summer Prime Basketball Tournament, www.ksptournament.com. Go ahead and register today, 13 and up, boys and girls and men. There will be prizes for first place in the 3-on-3 tournament and in the first place tournament. So go ahead and sign up today. Now, in the chat, I put in, or in the description, I put hashtag. What did I put on there? I can't remember what the first hashtag I put in there. But the second one was my favorite kind of religious song. They that wait on the Lord shall renew. They shall mount up like wings on an eagle. My dad used to play that when I was younger, and he used to sing it. And his version of it, I've looked for all kinds of different folks singing that song, and no one sung it the way that my dad sung it. So I will sing it the way that he does, but I wish that I could hear it the way that he sings it. But that is my favorite church song. Yeah, I love that one. So as I said before, I'm tired. I am. It has been a long, trying day. And man, it's only Wednesday. Our food program started Monday. We had quite a few deliveries on Monday to deliver meals Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then we cook again for Thursday and Friday. Again, give us a call if you want to be added onto our list so that we can get meals to you. You can also, again, downtown to 419 Park Avenue and get your meals. Or you can give us a call at 360-373-3000. Okay. And again, that is if you were trying to get the vaccine, we provide free transportation for that. If you are working on your ERAP paperwork or your rental assistance, as it is otherwise known, or it's known as TRAP also, lots of different acronyms. But if you need help with rental assistance, give us a call and we will provide free transportation to you to take care of those things. Because again, it is tremendously important. True story. All right. And so again, just to kind of share with you, Monday was a chicken salad wrap. Tuesday was, is that the first one? Turkey provolone kebabs, tuna salad. And then tomorrow's meal is a teriyaki chicken burger, chicken patty, hamburger bun, Swiss cheese, a pineapple, and teriyaki dressing with coleslaw. All right, that sounds good to me. Okay. And then we have the bean and cheese burrito that has pinto beans, black beans, cheese, corn, tomatoes, all kinds of goodness. And then carrot sticks and milk to go along with that. Next week, we'll have Thai peanut noodle salad. We'll have an oven panini on Tuesday, and on Wednesday, a white lasagna casserole. And then Thursday and Friday, we'll have an Asian tuna wrap, and then stromboli the day after that. So, man, I'm telling you, we got a great menu. I talked with one of the mothers today, and she said her kids destroyed the food. Matter of fact, the food was gone before the end of the 3 days. So that is compliments to the chef for sure. So what was it? The Kicks commercial, kid tested, mother approved. Absolutely. We're going to go ahead and steal the Kicks motto there. Kid tested, mother approved. All right. So go ahead and give us a call, 360-373-3000. And we can get you on the delivery list, or you can come down and see us at 419 Park Avenue, Bremerton, Washington. We are right downtown on the corner of 5th and Park, and we are on the second floor right above the co-op. And so if you're trying to enter into the co-op, if you just move to the left, you'll see the big G on our glass door. Just knock and come on up, and we are there to serve you. Now, I hope you will follow us if you haven't been doing that so far, or let people know. You can follow us on our Facebook page, Gather Together, Grow Together. We put out good information there that you can follow us at, and also you can set alerts for any time that we have a show or I impromptu go live. Conversely, you can also follow us on YouTube. Type in Marwan Cameron. The spelling is there for you, Marwan. Last name is Cameron. The show is called The Conduit, and follow us there. Again, we ask you to subscribe, like, and share, and set your alerts, right? The more people that log on and like the content, the faster we can begin to monetize that, and then begin to do even more work in the community, right? So everything we do goes to the service of the community. I do want to send out a shout out to Tasia Green and her business partner, Brandon. I don't know his last name, but again, as I said before, we just sent out our order to Kitsap Custom Tees, and they're talking about a 2-day turnaround. And so we will be making some T-shirts for the basketball tournament. But since we've got a few more days waiting on the logo to be created for that, it was like, hey, it was triple digits. I want to get my folks in T-shirts. You know, these heavy polos are too heavy for them. You know, for me, this means I don't have to put on a tie, so I kind of get away with it there. But let's go ahead and get them in some T-shirts. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe it'll be 10 days. And Brandon was like, 2 days. I'm like, 2 days? Oh yeah, come on, let's go. So that was awesome. So shout out to Kitsap Custom Tees. Go ahead and reach out to them. Their email is kitsapcustomtees@gmail.com. And you already saw on some of the podcasts that I've done with Tasia, some of the designs that they have done, which has been pretty awesome for sure. So please support that. Also, tomorrow, you are not going to want to miss tomorrow's show. Tomorrow's show is going to be a really good one. I have coming with us Gib Morrow. Okay. And it says, I'm just looking here at his signature. Okay. And I should say Dr. Gib Morrow. He will be coming to us from Kitsap Public Health. There's been some new developments with the Delta variant. And so I wanted him to come on and talk to us and give it to us straight, right? Lots of stuff going around the world that in several countries as the Delta variant is becoming the dominant strain in other countries. They're starting to close back up in some situations. Here you see in California, they are now starting to go back to, mandatory mask wearing and social distancing. And so, I think this is causing a lot of confusion, and I think it's a good idea for us to hear from a health expert, what's going on? What does this mean? How does this impact those of us who have been vaccinated with either the Moderna, the Pfizer, or the Johnson & Johnson? What does that mean for those of us that haven't been vaccinated and whatnot? So if you have any questions, please give us a call. That show will be tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. Again, I will set a reminder and set that out so that you can tune in to Dr. Gib Morrow. Like I said, that'll be an excellent conversation tomorrow for sure. So we're looking forward to that. Let's see, what else do I have here that I wanted to share with you? Oh, I think that's probably everything. As you know, I had the ladies on yesterday from Surviving Change, Miss Deborah Moore Jackson and Karen Vargas from Black Lives 365 and Villaging Our Voices. And she talked about how important Villaging Our Voices is in regards to people coming together and processing and navigating through things and having those conversations in a space that is conducive. And then, of course, Christine, and then, gather together, grow together, all getting landlords together to have a conversation. That'll be next Thursday, July 8th. So put that on your calendar at 6:30 p.m. We will also have in attendance the executive director of the Bremerton Housing Authority and also Kirsten Jewell from the county. So that should be a really good conversation next week. Man, there's so many things up on deck. Like I said, I'm tired, y'all. I would love to, maybe sleep in tomorrow, but it's a big crazy one tomorrow. So I don't think that's gonna happen. And then with the cook cutting her hand open, it is what it is. So we've got to step up and fill in the gaps wherever we can fill those things in. Also, I was talking with Pastor Mac the other day, and he was saying, he was like, "Hey, brother, when is concessions coming back?" And I'm like, "Oh, concessions has been back. We just went yesterday." He was like, "What, really?" I'm like, "Yeah, we've been doing the Sounders games." And he was like, "Oh man, I didn't know, So yeah, absolutely, we are doing concessions. It is again a lot of fun. It's a great experience. If you've never been to the stadium, I can't remember what it's called. I'll continue to call it CenturyLink because that's what many of us remember it as, but it's the Seahawks Stadium. We do pay for your food handler's permit. We pay for your alcohol permit. We transport you to the event and back. It's a lot of fun. It's a great way to support a nonprofit and an even greater way to support your community. And as things begin to open back up, we started with only 5,000 people in the stadium, 4,000 or 5,000 in the stadium. I think the other day it was like at 22,000, and they slowly start adding more and more and more in. And so if we keep going in the right direction in terms of this virus, by the time football season comes up, we'll probably be back at 67,000 at the Seahawks game. So let me tell you, there is an energy that just goes through that building. Seahawks. It's crazy in there. And so it again, just being in there, it's electric. It's a lot of fun. Like I said before, you're helping out a nonprofit. You're directly helping people that need the help the most here in this county. And so it's a great way to give back and have a good time at the same time. So sometimes when the event is over, they'll drive down to Dick's Burgers. And if you haven't had their, well, I think they're like hand malted shakes and their burgers. They're pretty famous for that. Down on Broadway, I think there's one in, I can't remember where the other one is. But they'll stop there or stop somewhere else on the way back. And, folks just have a really good time. And so it's just another way to kind of get together and find some unique ways to just be supportive and tied to something, right? Again, and we can always use your help. And always we are taking applications for laborers and construction workers. We do need skilled laborers for framing. The general contractor would prefer that you had your own framing gun and a few years of experience. But do give a call if you do have some framing experience, as these are luxury homes. And so we do need actual, skilled labor for those positions. But we also have some other positions for painting and some regular labor positions. So if you've got some a willingness to learn and to listen, and you're pliable, we love to hear from you, teach you a new skill. I believe the wage is $18 an hour is what we are paying. So give us a call and get set up for an interview soon. Okay. Again, always ERAP, if you need help, please. The moratorium has been extended, but that does by no means mean that you need to let your foot off the gas. Please come in and get help. Again, if it's not you, and it's maybe a friend or a family member, get the information for them. If they don't come in, find out how the program works. We're more than happy to explain it to you, let you know how they can pay, potentially pay a month of back rent and up to 2 months of future rent, and pay for your utilities, help out with, there's a program for your cell phone, there's a program for your cable. So, give us a call today, 360-373-3000. Let us help you navigate through that process, gain the information that you can pass on to other people. And again, let's say you have an adult child that's living with you, and their intention was to pay you rent, but they haven't been able to pay you rent or pay all of your rent. Or maybe you have a friend that's staying with you that's moved in, because they weren't able to make their ends meet, but they haven't been able to, you don't want them to be on the street. And so you're trying to help them out. This program can work for you also. And again, it does protect you, even if that person is not on the lease, right? The thing isn't to get you kicked out, is to ensure that you keep your housing, right? So that is how the program works. Please give us a call. And again, let your friends and family know. Even if you think, hey, you know what, right now my situation is good, I've got an agency that's paying my rent, or, I'm able to pay my rent, it's not a problem. Just having an idea of what programs are out here and how they work are so important. You might be a homeowner or a landlord, and you have either you or someone who is a landlord or a property owner. And it's like, man, my tenant can't pay the rent and there's no relief, but I still have to pay my mortgage. I wish there was a program out there that could, potentially help me with that. It can help you too. So, and you can initiate it on your side. So give us a call, just find out how these programs work. Again, there's millions of dollars right now. If you've been watching anything in the news, a lot of this money hasn't been used, but this money isn't going to be here forever, right? And, the United States cannot continue to print money. And eventually, the tap is going to be tapped out, right? And they're going to start looking at in another direction. So, please, and I don't want to be the doom and gloom person or, tell you that the sky is falling. But again, when this moratorium is over, I think it is going to be very difficult for several people. If your relationship with your landlord isn't good and they decide to evict you, you may have a unfavorable rental history. Your credit history may be shot, right? You may or may not have been at a job for 2 years or whatever the case may be, because maybe you lost your job during the pandemic. So it could be extremely difficult for you to get into some alternative housing, right? And then at the same time, there's going to be hundreds, if not thousands, of people that are going to be looking for housing because they're going to be in that same situation, right? Well, landlords need to increase their rents because they've been losing out. Right? So they get rid of their tenants, they raise their rent to try to recoup some of their losses over the last year and a half, right? So please call how they work. We're here for you. We'll set up a conversation with you. And again, we already have this Delta variant that is starting to become the most prevalent variant here in the United States. At first, it was 1 in every 5 cases, so 20%. Now it's 1 in every 4. So you can see this thing is quickly taking over. And some of the things that they're saying, and we'll talk to Dr. Morrow tomorrow, but they're saying that it is more infectious, and it seems to be, I think, hitting younger people more. than older people. So, at first it was like, send the kids to school. The kids don't need a mask. They're more resilient. Now we've got this Delta variant that seems to be attacking kids more. We haven't gone through experiencing the flu season plus COVID, right? Because we were on lockdown last December, or last flu season. So we didn't have a real big mix of that. But now that everything is open, that's probably going to hit us. The unemployment, having to do your job search, that ends, I believe, July 3rd. And then the moratorium is going to end here in about 3 months. And so this winter, you can probably expect to see some really hard times, right? We have buildings falling over. We have overpasses, crumbling. Our infrastructure is a mess, right? We've got to divert. We've got to pay attention to that and start investing in that. That Texas, their grid is not good, right? What happened to them during the snowstorm. God forbid this happens to them in this heat. And then, California will have their rolling brownouts as it gets hot. You saw the roads here in Washington as they were warping and buckling under the heat that we've never had before. So there's just a whole lot happening, right? And there's only enough funds. And then, of course, you have both parties arguing as to where those funds should be diverted and how much, right? And how they're to be used. So with all of that bipartisan nonpartisanship, I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but basically with both sides not working together, or working together to not work together, we find ourselves in a bad way. So we have got to start, taking things into our own hands in regards to taking care of each other, right? Making sure that, folks that don't have access to water or resources are informed and educated and are provided access to get to these resources. And it really is. It's going to be up to us, and so it's important for us to build community. We can't wait on the government to save us, nor should that be the expectation, right? We need to empower ourselves. As I always say, power is not given, power is taken. And so invest in yourself, please. And there are many of us that are going to need some help to get through this. And it's our responsibility. And I do love how, right now, there are several men here in the community that are doing just that. And I'm so excited to be working with them and collaborate. And just seeing what's going to come of this, Daniel was sharing with me a gentleman who is a chess player that teaches life lessons to children through chess. And that's awesome. That's awesome. So I'm all for that. Definitely want to support that. So shout out to PYA up there at Mount Zion and Pastor Richmond up there. Like I said, a lot of people doing some really good things out there. So I'm looking forward to finding ways to work and collaborate with people and just, doing the work. That's what's required. And there's no one or no thing stopping us but us. Let's kind of sit with that. There is nothing or no one stopping us but us. So what we gonna do? What we gonna do, y'all? I know what I'm gonna do. I done met so many people in the month of June. Woo! I think I done met my quote. 5 people per month in just June alone. That would be what? I said 5 times 6. That's 30 people. Oh, I've definitely met 30 people in the last 6 months. And I didn't even start the podcast until February, toward the end. So, again, that is my challenge to you. Meet 5 people. Have a conversation. See if there's a way that you can collaborate. Collaboration can be exchange of information. Learning what other skills people have. Can you barter? I can do this, you can do that. Let's work together to serve the community. All kinds of different things that we can do. We know that many of us are in the needs of services. Maybe you don't have a car. And so this person does have a car and they can provide that access. And you're great in math and you can tutor their kids or you can watch their kids. Lots of different synergies. Maybe you cook and they drive. So find those unique ways to make your life easier. There is no badge for martyrdom or being a hero. There's nothing higher than an A but an A. So saying, hey, I did it all by myself and no one helped me. Okay, but why? There's no need for it to be that way. So find those ways to collaborate, reach out, create or cultivate your circle of influence or your circle of support. All right. I hope this was helpful. Again, tomorrow, 6:30 p.m., Dr. Gib Morrow, Kitsap Public Health. If you have questions, anything vaccine related, please give us a call. We will ask those questions of Dr. Morrow on air. I am R1 Cameron. This is The Conduit. I like to say I'm going to go to bed and get some rest, but man, I got texts and emails to respond to. I'll get there at some point in time.